I like this a lot. This is really cool. Um, did a great job of pushing things and even recomposing. It's even more like this triangular shape.
I didn't even notice that.
It's so cool. um, yeah, I love the poses. I love the fact that it's like a scene and you're kind of like you're on the outside, but you're also kind of welcomed inside. And it's cool to see all the poses in one frame as opposed to like each each pose a new frame, a new
Mhm.
page. Most people, this is the only time I've seen anyone combine all the poses into one, which is really cool to see. Uh,
Yeah, it was just like that's what I assumed. That's what I planned on doing, and then I found that picture, and I was like, "This is interesting."
yeah,
I was like, I don't know. I got excited to work on it, so I was like, "Yeah, why not?" I was like, "I guess as long as they're spaced enough," because what I was worried about was if they got too overlapping, and then you couldn't tell what each individual pose was.
yeah. So did you have from the photo to the PG representation? Did you have a kind of idea in mind for each character, like what they're thinking?
Yeah, it was easier to kind of get in each character's head because I from the reference I knew all of them.
Cool.
So sort of just took like especially the one sitting on the ground in between the two standing people. Like she's
Mhm.
very sarcastic. So instead of like the one with the hand motion, her arm was straight out. And then once it looked too paralleled.
So this one, oh yeah, the arm was straight out here.
Yeah, and it kind of I don't know, like I don't know, it just it read I don't know, I felt that it read weird, so instead now she's extra dramatic
Yeah,
because she's like
yeah, that's fun. I feel like,
but it was kind of like yeah, it's kind of like taking the personalities of what I knew those people were like and then pushing it to make it almost like comedic or
mhm.
to push their personalities to make it, I guess, which is more like an animated character.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. I think the only two that felt similar to me was probably these two here. That just their
Yeah.
general pose felt kind of similar, but they're different as
Mm-hmm.
well, you know. And I think you can do things to help push to help support what they're doing and continue to separate the two poses. So like you have this one kind of focused on this forward kind of idea, making eye contact with this guy, and this one kind of like more relaxed and almost paying a little less attention or focus at the ball instead, and
Mm-hmm.
being reclined, you know, obviously much more. And I think you can probably push the reclined idea a little bit by kind of shifting some of the contrapposto idea, kind of pushing the shoulders, dropping this one down a little more. Everything else I think is really good in here. I wouldn't change much else. And you can probably, you might end up having the head, I guess you can keep the head in the same angle, but you might lean it the other way, perhaps to play along with that kind of contrapposto idea. So the hips go this way, the shoulders go this way, and the head goes this way. So if you were to
Mm-hmm.
tilt the head in this direction, it would kind of lean these characters into each other in a way that might be kind of interesting, but also separate the two a little bit farther, and give that feeling of pressure from this hand on the ground up to the shoulder. Uh, cool. And I mean, overall, this feels really good. I think there's not a whole lot more I would personally push. One other thing I was thinking of was it's hard sometimes to show every limb, but I think in this case it might be nice to see this hand kind of behind this character, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
up there um, on the ground somewhere, just so we feel exactly what's going on, so we don't lose anything. or wonder, are they leaning on the ground, or are they using their torso muscles to keep them up? Something like that would help. And it's cool to see that you've kind of pushed, like every silhouette feels really strong. Like I think if I were to just look at the silhouette in black and white image, I would get the same feeling from all the poses, which is awesome. Like every kind of knee and elbow feels like it's clearly defined, and nothing's tangenting oddly, like there's enough space here to read the pose properly. There's enough space in here. Even the fingers here, you've separated enough so that we don't lose them. There could be a little bit of a tangent here and maybe a little bit right here, but not much, you know. Those are such small notes. So it feels really good in that sense. And let's see, so you have this guy. This guy I felt like maybe you could push that kind of, push something in here where I think for me it was, I had to kind of get up and pose it myself. I was just kind of looking at things before class started. And let's see, kind of just trying to get into that feeling that you have. And there's something that I think it's either like more of a lean back or more of a forward kind of thing. To choose one way or the other, just a little bit more. It feels like it's more of a forward thing going on because of the lean back. And so I might push that a little more and maybe add a little more twist to it as well, to emphasize that the hands are over on this side. So you can twist the torso so the shoulder from here is actually here, and maybe even drop it down a little bit so that you're seeing more the top of the torso here. You can maybe push this bend a little bit more, and end up kind of maybe even pushing the hands out slightly farther, and then maybe the neck would be sticking out and the head would be kind of forward, sticking out like this. But I mean, anything you do, I think, in there to add a little twist and push the shoulders so that they're less lined up. They're not quite lined up here. They're not horizontal, but I feel like just to push one up and one down a little bit more would go a long way. And if you went the other way, you can still do that, I think, and have some fun with the pose. But yeah, it is a pretty subtle thing. But it's more about just adding twist and tilt to the pose. The pose feels good as an idea. I feel like, I mean, when I look at it, it definitely feels like they are kind of wooing over them and like admiring them from a distance. So I like that a lot. Like it's really cool. It's really cool to see all the different personalities. Like he's demonstrating. I forgot his name, but he's demonstrating something with the ball. This person is sarcastic, like you said, kind of like, oh come on, you can't do it. This one's in love. This one's kind of interested but casual and kind of half paying attention. So this one's kind of like this one's kind of reflects this guy a little bit, in the sense that they are doubting or wondering how they're going to accomplish what they claim. And this one has a question, like they're kind of inquisitive. So it all plays really well together. And every character is different. Every character reads as like a really cool expression. Yeah, it's really cool. I love this whole